All right, we have it all set. It's all set. The Super Bowl is set. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about our brand new defensive coordinator here in Detroit, Kelvin Shepard. We're going to talk about it on this episode of the Lion Villain Report.
Hey, yo, the lies so that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose when I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we winning it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning this crazy. Your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. It's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. It's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity. It's your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.
Yeah. Welcome one, welcome all, ladies and gentlemen, to the Lion Villain Report. Yep, I'm your host, Russell Wayne, right here and right now. And we're in the off-season edition. The off-season edition right here means that this is going to be as needed, but I'm still going to do it at this time every day. And I'm still going to do it in front of the live audience. And then I'm going to release some of this content a little bit later. So I appreciate anybody that is out there right now watching on the Lions Villain Squad Facebook page, the Lions Villain Squad YouTube page, or on the Huddle Sports Network on Roku, or on the Detroit Lions News Podcast page. That's where we're going and doing this stuff right here. And the Super Bowl is set. The Super Bowl is set. This episode is always brought to you by NFL Shop right here. You scan that QR code. Get yourself some of that Detroit Lions swag. Right there. We're in the off season. So, for one, let's say hello to everybody. Hello to my friends.
Say hello to my little friends.
Got Maurice and Davies up in the house. Moonscar Blade John up in the house. I'm sorry. Came in a little bit.
Say hello to my little friends.
It's going to be a little untraditional here during the off season, guys. Like I said, as needed. And I came on, I wasn't even at 10 o'clock. I didn't even know if I was going to come on and do anything today. But then I started thinking, might as well. I might as well come on here because there's some certain ideas that I want to get on here. It's the Villain Report. Welcome to the Villain Report. And the first thing that I would like to report is that they had an NFC Championship game between those Washington Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. And in this said game, the Philadelphia Eagles came and put a dump trucking onto the Washington Commanders, ending their season 55-23. Jaden Daniels, 29 for 48, 255 with a TD and an interception. Jaden Daniels also added 48 yards on the ground. Brian Robinson, 11 for 36. There's the story. Zach Ertz with a good game. Man, this freaking guy Zach Ertz showing, the last time that he was with Philadelphia, they won the Super Bowl. They won the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia. But check out these Eagles, man. This is Saquon Barkley with another run. Another long run right there. Saquon Barkley is awesome. I love that he hands the ball to the referee, just like Barry Sanders did. Jalen Hurts, actually were able to contain Jalen Hurts on the ground. He didn't add too much to it. This is the Saquon Barkley show. A.J. Brown with 6 big catches, 96 yards, and a tutty. They took care of business, man. Honestly, how do I feel that this team that beat up on us, Lions, got destroyed in the NFC Championship? How do I feel about it? I feel like the Lions won 15 games with a depleted, injured reserve roster. And now that I've seen this Philadelphia Eagles team, this full-strength Philadelphia Eagles team, even if the Lions were able to get by the Commanders, this Eagles team would be a hard team to beat if you had Aiden Hutchinson in a full complement. That's a good team. That's a good team, and I think that they may give Kansas City a run for their money, or even one. So, you got the Commanders getting dump trucked on that one side of the game. And, I don't know. I think it's kind of like it's the matchup that nobody wanted. But, I'm here to do a little bit of a touchdown dance, because there were a couple of things, the next things that I'm going to be talking about. And to answer your question, broski, I'm in the off season now, so these are on demand. I am no longer doing this 5 days a week in here, 6 days a week in here. There just isn't enough information for me to do that with. So as we continue to have information that we can talk about, I'm going to be on here. And I want to do it in segments, and I want to do it in something that we can, I can reproduce and put out later. And I want you guys to be the live audience for that. It's going to be cut-ups right here. And I want to be able to put my opinions on some of this stuff. So I'm trying to figure this stuff out as we go too, broski. I think I got my in-season down with how I want to manage everything here. I'm definitely going to do more guests for next year when we get into, but for right now, we're in the off season. So this is kind of like the Wild West for me right there. But I want to keep it flowing, and I want to keep it into the show, and I don't want to go away from the live thing altogether, but I do want to double down on some of this stuff. So I'm going to practice segments during this off season, so I can hit some of these topics right here. And obviously, that is a topic right there when you're talking about the NFC Championship game. And, it wasn't much of a game right there as we go through. It was a dominating performance, especially they just pulled away from them in the second half. Just, you can't turn the ball over that much. I feel like if the Lions would have got that version of the Commanders that it might have turned out different. It feels like they were really, really up for the Lions game, and they weren't up for this game in the same way. That's what I saw from that game. And then on the other side of things, you had what I like, the Ali Frazier, Allen versus Mahomes. And I called this one, man. On this side, the other side, I lost my lock pick right there because I really thought that the Commanders would be closer in that game. I didn't know if they could win, but I thought that the magic could continue. But you can't turn the ball over like that. It definitely wasn't Jaden Daniels' fault in that game. You can't give them those short fields. They turned those turnovers into 28 points. And when you're aggressive like that, you're pulling the Dan Campbell. But there you go. You got the Buffalo Bills falling to the Kansas City Chiefs. 32-29. And he had a chance, man. He was in the locker room. He was doing all of his pre-game rituals. Josh Allen had his voodoo doll out there. Had about 65 needles sticking out of it. And he's like, this is the year. I'm going to get him. And then it was the same result. It's like Groundhog Day. And this is why it's like, man, the reason why the Lions or any other team really in the NFC North doesn't win Super Bowls is it's mainly two guys. Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. And if you want to tell me you can't win a championship without having a quarterback that's mobile, you can talk to a wall. The two greatest, and there you go. I mean, there's both sides of it. You got a guy that can escape out of the pocket and manage the game. Patrick Mahomes is going to be one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He might already be the greatest quarterback. People can argue with that, especially if he gets his third in a row, because that was something that Tom Brady didn't do. But again, I mean, Josh Allen, what are you going to do? Josh Allen goes 22 for 34, 237, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. The big story is they were able to contain him on the ground. Josh Allen was stopped on the ground, 11 carries, 39 yards, only averaged 3.5 yards a carry. That's the story. Is they were able to stop him in the big moments. And there's Patrick Mahomes, 18 for 26, 245. When your defense plays well and you don't have to throw up those giant stats, that's a winning formula right there. If I want to relate that to anything Jared Goff would do, it seems like the more stats that he gets, the further you get over 300 yards, the less of a chance you have to win. Jared Goff had some great games this year where he threw for under 300 yards. And it was just like the efficiency comes in there. And it wasn't backed up with a great running game. Patrick Mahomes was just out there running the offense. 3.8 yards a carry. 3.9 yards a carry. 2.4 yards a carry. I'm not going to count 8 yards a carry for a wide receiver that carried the ball twice. Efficient. Everybody got a little bit of love. Couple catches. Kelsey only had 2 catches. It's greatest tight end of all time. No, they play like a team. And right now, like a three-peat, I don't think that I've ever really wanted to root for the Chiefs. You know, I wasn't rooting for them in this game. But I'll probably be rooting for them in the Super Bowl. And I will watch that game because that's history. No one's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row. You know, 50 years from now, they're going to talk about, wow, man, we got to watch Patrick Mahomes. Back in the day. I mean, to go back to back like that, Tom Brady era into the Patrick Mahomes era, really, like the Super Bowl dreams that the Lions have, the Super Bowl dreams that the Packers and the Bears and everybody has, you got to go through Patrick Mahomes. And that is beginning to feel like it's legendary because of what this guy is in the playoffs. And you all know, everybody, it's like Groundhog Day. Gets into the regular season. He had a good regular season like 3 years ago. But other than that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, Patrick Mahomes, is he going to fall off? Is he falling off? Oh, look at that regular season. Oh, he lost to Josh Allen. Oh, what happened to the Chiefs? It's like, just wait. They know they're going to be in the playoffs. They don't care if they got to play 2 games, 3 games. It's Patrick Mahomes. He flips the hat around. You ever seen that movie Over the Top? And then he does the thing, puts the hat backwards. When the playoffs come in, that's Patrick Mahomes. He turns the hat backwards. And then he's got the move. And maybe he does have the blessing of some calls. The referee calls. I saw it. I feel the pain of biased referees because I've been, you know, a part of some pretty egregious bad call penalties. You know, they name the Lions get them so much we just got names for them all now. You know, the Calvin Johnson catch. It's just like bad calls that just lingered. The ghost face mask, all that. And it's just like, you see stuff last night, like Travis Kelce getting up into one of the Bills' face, taunting him, getting in his face, running his mouth. If Jamison Williams did that, been a 15-yard penalty, and we'd be here talking about, man, Jamison Williams is such an idiot. I can't believe it. Why doesn't he just shut up? And it's like, well, it depends on who you are. See, Travis Kelce's allowed to do that. He's allowed to talk trash in your face. And then if you come up and retaliate, that's when they throw the flag. It's like, get it right, guys. Do better. Do better in that spot. I mean, that was after the fact. I mean, it's a touchdown. They scored. It wouldn't have done anything. But if you don't want people, because we're unbiased, I don't have a dog in the race. It's like now I'm going to root for Mahomes because of the whole greatness thing. I wanted to win this 3 in a row. I have no reason to root for Philadelphia. Don't care. Oh, it'd be cool, Barkley, whatever. I think he is cool. I like how he gives the ball referee. He doesn't do the touchdown dance. It doesn't mean that I hate touchdown dances. I think that has its place too. But Patrick Mahomes and that team, it's a team that everybody likes, everybody wants. And once this 3 in a row thing is over, I guess trying to do 4 in a row, whoa. But I feel like that magic would wear off after 3 because the 3 is the untouchable goal. And can you maintain that high level and keep that magic going for a 4th year, dominating? Man, that's going to be, when that champ goes down, it'll be something else. And right now, it ain't going to ever be. It ain't ever going to be. I had a take after the 14-second miracle. And I said that Patrick Mahomes owns Josh Allen's soul. It's in a jar at his house. And whatever was left of that soul, whatever was left, there was a tinge of hope. Yeah, I fought all the way back. And yeah, he grinded all the way back. And here comes Josh Allen. Only to have that little minuscule part of soul that he mustered up. Patrick Mahomes snatched that up too, like Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Put the rest of that soul right into a jar. And Josh Allen's badass enough that he needs 2 jars. He had to take part of his soul at one point in time. And he's got that will and determination to come all the way back. But the rest of that soul is in that second jar. And Josh Allen will never be the one to beat Patrick Mahomes. Now, I'm not saying that the Bills will never win a Super Bowl. But I'm just saying that somebody else is going to have to do the dirty work. Because you ain't going to beat Mahomes. Full ownership over that. And what are you going to do? He owns the entire NFL. What are you going to do about it? I have no idea. But I still feel like the Lions are building something, the type of team that it would take to beat a Patrick Mahomes. And the way that you do beat him is to be in control at the end of the game. And the Lions play a style that when they're on their game, they can be into the ball control type of stuff at the end of the game. The biggest problem that the Lions have had over the entire tenure of Dan Campbell's career has been the defense. It's been the defense. And this is the Lion Villain Report. I'm Russell Wayne, and here we're going to talk about Kelvin Shepherd. Welcome back, Kelvin Shepherd. I'm going to do the I told you so thing right here. It was going to be an internal hire. Sometimes I feel like they force me to talk about stuff because there's stuff that's out there, and then you have to you got to talk about it. I got a Lions page. I'm the villain. I got to talk about it. Oh, what if they hire Dennis Allen? What if they hire... No, it was always going to be a promotion from within. And he deserves it. I mean, when you look at what type of turnaround there has been, right? Who has had to work with less, right? You turn Alex Anzalone around. You work with Malcolm Rodriguez. You turn that linebacking crew. I remember the 2021 season coming in here and talking about, with nobody listening, by the way, but talking about how bad that linebacker core was. How bad was Alex Anzalone year one? I remember him talking about starting a rookie, chewing out the room on Hard Knocks, saying, "You're going to make me start a rookie." Calvin Shepard turned that linebacker room around, and he did it with, with a void of talent. They did invest draft capital last year. Now you got Jack Campbell, and you got two really solid guys in there, but he's done it with a lot of guys that, I don't know if they'd make strong cases on other rosters, maybe as depth pieces, whatever. But I expect Brad Holmes to add some talent in the linebacker position. But that's been one of the high points of the Lions defense, which there hasn't been a lot. But he earned that spot. I like it. I personally am, you like that, a giant fan of promoting from within, because that's what they've been doing. And the idea of developing coaches and going, and it sucks that Ben Johnson went to the Bears or whatever, but the thing is we develop coaches. Ben Johnson was a tight ends coach, and I don't even know what he was doing before that. I think he was working with Dan in Miami. Worked his way up, was a tight ends coach, and got promoted to offensive coordinator. When Aaron Glenn was in New Orleans with Dan Campbell, he took the head coaching job. He was a cornerbacks coach. Dan brought him here and promoted him to defensive coordinator. And now they have developed those coaches into head coaches. And two of the position coaches, I think it is going to be from within. They may hire a different offensive coordinator from outside. But here's the thing about the offense is Jared Goff has built the Goffense with Ben Johnson. They write it together. They did it together. And I remember when Peyton Manning, had all of those players, Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, and they just had that really good offense year after year after year. It was like, who is their offensive coordinator? I don't know. It's Peyton Manning's show. It's Peyton Manning. This is Jared Goff's show. So the offensive coordinator that comes in has got a loaded room. It's like the offensive coordinator isn't going to come in and like develop somebody from the ground up. You got all pros on your offensive line now. You're walking into that situation. You got all pros in the backfield. You got two really solid running backs. You got two solid tight ends. You got a first team all pro wide receiver. You got maybe the fastest wide receiver in the game. You got weapons all over the place, Mr. Offensive Coordinator. We don't need you to develop a number one wide receiver. I mean, how cool would that be as an offensive coordinator to come in and know that you can get right to the bolts? You can get right to the nuts and the bolts. Because there's one thing that they're not going to do is they're not going to hire an offensive coordinator that's going to come in and change anything. They're going to hire an offensive coordinator that they think fits into the culture and is going to be able to use their big brain on whatever we already have. We don't need you to come in and reinvent the wheel. And I think that takes the big bag of coordinators and potential candidates and shrinks it down. You're looking for a certain pedigree. And honestly, when you have all of those players that I just mentioned, it makes it to where really talented guys would probably seek out that job. And don't be surprised if they do a position coach promotion to offensive coordinator to a guy that you may not have heard. Just like Kelvin Shepherd. Unless you're a Detroit Lion fan and you follow the Lions, you're probably like, who? You might have known him as a player. But I love the move. That's the villain take on it. You got to promote from within. This is what you're doing. This is what you're like. You're trying to build the culture. You're trying to develop coaches and develop players. Well, when you develop them to a point where you got to kick them out of the nest, well, Ben Johnson's got his own team now. Aaron Glenn's got his own team now. So it's time to turn the machine one click. Keep it moving. Now, I don't know. These guys may be able to build their own cultures. I'm not saying Ben Johnson may be successful. Aaron Glenn may be successful. But we're not going to undersell here, at least not from my opinion. Be dumb, but I'm not going to undersell what Dan Campbell's done here culture-wise. And realizing that they are going to put somebody into that spot that's going to be competent because the talent's here now. It's a different situation when you're building through the talent. And bringing back a guy like Kelvin Shepherd, all that does is it guarantees the maintain of continuity moving forward. They've had the ideas. They know what Kelvin Shepherd wants. And I'm sure that he's going to have his tweaks, right? He's not Aaron Glenn. He's going to have his own tweaks to whatever that are going on. But he ain't going to reinvent the wheel either. Kelvin Shepherd is not going to reinvent the wheel. I mean, schematically, that doesn't mean that they won't change to more of a 3-4 dominant, but they're multiple. They've been multiple. They've ran in 3-4. They've ran in 4-3. They do more 4-3 than 3-4, but they have done 4-3 looks or 3-4 looks where they're jacking their linebackers. But I don't know what Kelvin Shepherd's going to do in that, but I know that he's got Aiden Hutchinson. I know that he's got a lot of talent coming back on defense that he's going to get added to. I'm sure they're going to invest heavily on defense this offseason. Just in the guys that we got. It's a lot of cap space to work with. Make some moves, man. Kirby Joseph might be getting an extension. I don't know. And I'm sure that Hutchinson won't be too far after that. And honestly, those two things might be more of a priority than the guys that are on this list. But we'll have plenty of time to talk about free agents. But that was the main gist of what I wanted to get to today. Mahomes is him. It's him. I've submitted to it. Not going to get around it. Guy's going for 3 in a row. Even if he loses in the Super Bowl, it's crazy that he's been to a conference championship or better in every single year he's been a pro. That's a unicorn. You can't get guys like that. There's elite guys, and then there's Mahomes on one peg higher. And I think Allen's elite. And it's not a popular thing to say, but I think Goff is elite at managing the game, at doing what he needs to do. And I think that you're going to see that this year. This is the Lion Villain Report. I'm Russell Wayne. If you're not too busy, take some time, go over, follow the page at Lion Villain Squad. You can head on over to YouTube and subscribe to the page at Lions Villain Squad. Joe Chap, thank you, Joe Chap, allowing us to broadcast into your spot. He's got like 80,000 Lion fans on that page. Thank you to the Huddle Sports Network on Roku. Bill the Packer fan, Mike the Bear fan, thank you. It's faith, family, and then football in that order. We use football to create memories. And spend time with our family. We don't let football use us. Well, thanks for popping on with me today. I definitely like the live crew. I'm definitely going to be doing my recording sessions here live with you. So I appreciate the ones that join me in the morning. You may see this in a smaller piece of content that comes out a little bit later on the YouTube. So make sure you go over there and hit that subscribe button because we appreciate that. NFL Shop. Get your swag. Villain Report brought to you by NFL Shop. Save up to 25% by scanning that or using the QR code from our affiliate marketing partners at NFL Shop. Well, that's going to be all my time for today. Thank you, everybody, for popping on. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you until we meet again in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, everybody. Peace and love. And like I said, as needed, we're going to be popping on here from time to time. Peace out.
Hey, yo, the lies told that you never make it. Hopeless, so it seems. Eyes closed, hands open wide to embrace your dreams. Sometimes you gotta take a loss just to get the win. Like lots of sin was popping in like oxygen when boxes wet. Focus on the mental, never lose like a smooth instrumental. Better choose on the move in a pinto. Choose what I get to, never lose smooth on the move, but it's simple. Never give up and we running it, maybe. We just keep winning, we conquering daily. Envision and pay me, it's never the sway me. Indigenous, maybe we winning, it's crazy. Opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity, your opportunity.